could become. And it is this type of dissatisfaction that makes you reach for more than the Sunday morning experience. It makes you reach for more than the Sunday morning tradition. It is this type of dissatisfaction that makes you actually reach for God himself. Dissatisfaction is very personal. And dissatisfaction it starts that way. It starts out very personal. It starts out very private. It starts out internally. As a matter of fact, it is very possible to become dissatisfied in your heart with who you are and where you are and what you're doing and who you're doing it with. And nobody know it but you. It is very possible. You can still be doing the same things, and you can still be tied up in it. You can still be committed to it. You can still be faithfully going through the routine. But down in your heart, there is a knowing, there is an aching, there is a hurting, there is a painful sensation that lets you know, I am doing this, but I am not this. There is something in you that says, okay, this just ain't working for me anymore. It might have worked then, but it ain't working now. It might have worked before, but it ain't working now. It might have worked yesterday, but today it is not working. I'm just going through the motions. I'm just playing a role. I'm smiling, I'm laughing, I'm clapping, I'm being nice. But down in my heart, I know that this is not it for me, and that there has got to be more. And that in and of itself is a true blessing from the Lord of hosts. Having the ability to recognize and identify that this is not it, that is a gift. Because there are some people that are still tied up in what you got out of, and they think that that is all there is to life. But the very fact that God opened your eyes and allowed you to see that there was more for you, and allowed you to understand that where you are is not where I have intended for you to stop, that is a blessing from the Lord. If God has ever opened your eyes and gave you a way of escape, a way to get out of something, you ought to clap your hands right now and say, God, I thank you. See, one of the most difficult things you can do in life is to counsel or to minister to somebody who has a heart that is full of regret. Because it doesn't matter how much you say to them about the benefits of being where they are right now, they are always looking over their shoulder saying, but I wonder if it would have been better if I'd have done this, or could have been better if I'd have done that, or if I'd have done the other. See, if you're not careful, you will ruin the marriage you're in right now, living in the regrets of your last marriage, because you can get so worried about the person that you left that you can't appreciate the person that you've got. And sometimes if you're not careful, you will unconsciously make one person pay for another person's mistakes. Oh, y'all ain't gonna help me right there. And you're going to live a very miserable life because you're not able to seize the moment, because you are always living in the valley of regret, wondering, did I do the right thing or did I not do the right thing? And when you get in this kind of shape, you can't appreciate what God is doing forgive you. I didn't even know they did it. I didn't know that they harbored anger toward me. People can be angry with you and you don't even know why. They can be frustrated with you and you don't even know why they're frustrated. They can become restless. Your spouse can become restless with you and you don't know why. Some of your marriages are restless right now and you can't figure out what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on. They're living in the valley of regret and they're wondering, one of y'all are wondering, maybe both y'all are wondering, if you've never done that to me, if you hadn't done that, if you hadn't made me move, if you hadn't made me quit school, if you wouldn't have made me have these children, if you wouldn't have been so controlling, if you wouldn't have been so manipulative, if you'd only supported me better, if you'd have valued me and my decisions, if you'd have been there for me, if you'd have backed me up, if you'd have had my back, if you'd have believed in me, I would have been further than I am today. And now you have this great wall between you and your world and the people that are precious to you in your world. And now you're trapped in the valley of regret and the devil is laughing and he's cheering and he's having a party, because as long as you stay in the valley of regret and you live on the street of what if, you can never be whole and you can never be healed and you will never be at peace, because you can never replay a moment once it is over. It's a trap and it is a snare and it is a stronghold that the enemy is trying to use to keep you from enjoying what God has done, what he is doing, and what he yet wants to do in your life. And so now, because of the shape you're in, you can't even pray effectively, because you're praying, but you're praying out of your feelings, you're praying out of your emotions. And the reason your prayers are ineffective is because your heart is full of bitterness and it's full of poison and it's full of pain and hatred and prejudice and hostility. And you come to church, but it really doesn't help, because the preachers are preaching about things like sin and addictions and promiscuity, and to a certain degree we have done you an injustice, because what we really should be preaching about is the problem that is behind the problem. What is the thing that makes that person hate? What makes the drink drunk? What makes the crack addict do crack? What makes the promiscuous live so promiscuously? Sometimes people are doing all of these stupid things because they are trying to numb the pain of those nagging regrets. We began this text by saying what we don't know. We don't know what to pray for. We don't know what to ask for. We don't know what we're supposed to do sometimes. We don't know why we had to go through that sometimes. We don't know why we're facing what we're facing. But while there may be some things that we don't know, according to 8:28, there is some things that we do know. Text starts out telling us what we don't know, but it ends up telling us what we do know. For we do know that some things, a few things, good things, bad things, we do know that all things work together. See, if that ever really gets in your spirit,